Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, on this rather wet and miserable and grey Friday. It looks like it's going to be like this all over the weekend, but I'm not here to do the weather. We do have a story about Angela Constance. She was basically asked a set of questions, and she successfully managed to not answer any. No change there. Don't like answering questions, does she? All these questions, of course, were about what the police said about all their budget cuts and under-resourcing and how that would affect the possibility of even saving people's lives. It is such a serious issue. Well, Angela, who as Justice Secretary is ultimately responsible for these things, basically answered the questions she wanted to answer by just not answering the questions that were being asked. But we'll take a look at it, see why this woman is probably very ill-suited to be the Justice Minister, since she has no understanding of what the word means. Anyway, here goes. So, Angela Constance dodges questions on threat to life warnings from police cuts, as critics ask, does she get it? Well, the question is, if she gets it, then she's made a deliberate choice, and therefore one could say that she's rather evil, not caring about people, not caring that people will suffer, die, suffer from loss, burglary, physical attacks, things like that. In which case she's unfit for the role. Or she doesn't get it, in which case I would suggest she's too stupid for the role. Either way, I think she's rather ill-suited for the role of Justice Minister, considering she's got no concept whatsoever of what justice is. I think under her watch you're going to see a massive rise in vigilantism, because the police just aren't there to enforce it, and so communities will take to enforcing their own law, and you'll have citizen volunteers banding together of an evening, going around and dispensing justice of their own, description. Maybe basically, a good beating here and there, kneecapping, things like that. It wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if that starts rising, and then of course it'll be people like her complaining about it. People like her have caused it. Anyway, Police Scotland has said people may die due to cuts to funding and staff levels, as Lib Dem MSP boldly asks if the SNP MSP understands the severity of the situation. Well, she has been told, has been explained to her, so I'd imagine she does, which puts her on the evil side of the equation, as I said earlier. Anyway, Justice Minister Angela Constance has been put on the spot with questions about Police Scotland funding and services, with one MSP question whether she understood how serious the situation has become. Details on the location and times of police building closures were put to the SNP MSP more than once. However, she said the issue was for the Chief Constable and the Scottish Police Authority, so not the Minister of Justice then. Seems very odd, doesn't it? Miss Constance was asked if she knew the specific regions that would be hit by the reports of the 30 buildings under threat, but she had no information to share. So this is the woman that is responsible for this, is making the decisions on this, but she doesn't have the information. What is the point of her being in that role then? If she's going to these to be questioned on these things, and she doesn't have the answers to the questions, it goes to show she doesn't understand her brief. And she doesn't understand what the hell she's doing. This is information she should have at her fingertips and be able to answer like that. It is, after all, her day job. Are we saying that she's getting paid to do a job that she's not actually doing? In which case, let's stop paying her. If you had an employee who just wasn't doing their job, you'd get rid of them. Let's get rid of Angela. That'd be a saving, wouldn't it? Obviously, no need for a Minister of Justice. There's no, we're not going to miss her if she goes, because she's not doing anything. Anyway, she was also asked by Labour MSP Jackie Bailey if she is concerned by comments from the Scottish Police Federation, who said people, and I quote, she said, may die as a result of the cuts in police officer numbers. Ms Constance responded by saying that the SNP government has a good record of investment in policing that will continue. That's not answering the question that was asked, though, is it, Angela? That's answering a completely different question that wasn't asked. He's asking, is the question being asked too difficult, or do you not understand it? Are you stupid? I mean, seriously? Or maybe you don't want to answer it because you know the answer is way too embarrassing for you and the party. That's it. That's the one, isn't it? Honest to God, why have we got these people? What is wrong with these people? Morons who will not answer the question. Snide, cover up, shady. The truth is anathema to them. Former Lib Dem leader Willie Rennie, one of the few that actually do get a bit of respect, I think, did not hold back with his frustration on the topic, telling the Holyrood Chamber, "I don't get a sense from the minister's response to it that she understands the severity of the claims that are being made. Does she get it? And is she going to stop the cuts in future?" Again, she has to answer a different question. She doesn't answer that question, of course. She said, "Let me repeat once again, Mr. Rennie, this government has not cut police services." Yes, it has. There's a recruitment freeze. The number of policemen has fallen by 1,500. They have got budgets so cut they're actually selling police stations. And so for her to stand there and say that, another one, quite obviously a barefaced public lie. But it's the SNP. Lying is what they do. And she said, investment has increased year on year. No, it hasn't. You might have put a little bit more money in, but it isn't investment if that money doesn't match what inflation is. And it doesn't. It's nowhere near. Anyway, Mr. Rennie and Miss Bailey were both referring to the deaths of Lamara Bell, 25, and John Ewell, 28, who died after lying in a crash car for 3 days after an incident on the M9 was first reported to police. The incident resulted in a damning public inquiry and a warning from police that cuts to staff could lead to repeat incidents. Now, I would have thought, and it strikes me seriously that any policeman, and the fact that they didn't is worrying, but any policeman on seeing a crash, a car in a ditch, in a field, whatever, would actually go and look in the car. Why would you not? I can't understand the mentality that someone just didn't look in the car and see these people lying there. Anyway, David Kennedy... Oh, I see what they were saying. Maybe they just didn't have anyone there to go and actually look at the car. And the reason I was confusing that is I actually know of a story, and this is a little tangent again, but again, it's irrelevant. It is relevant to it. I know of a story where there was a car crash where the police did attend, and there was a body lying in the car. And the police had put the tape up. And there was still the body lying in the car. The police didn't look in the car. That's what I was confusing. I think what's happened here is the car crash was reported, but the police took 3 days to attend the car crash. I think that's what it was. So, my apologies to the police on that one. That was me misunderstanding the story. Anyway, David Kennedy, General Secretary of the SPF, told the 1919 magazine that reducing the number of officers able to respond to emergency calls could result in another incident such as the M9 tragedy. He said bluntly, just weeks ago, people may die. Miss Constance said that given the inquiry into the events is ongoing, she will not comment. Oh yeah, they always use that. Oh, it's open investigation, I won't comment. Meaning, I'm hoping by the time it's closed, everyone's forgotten about it and I'll never be questioned on it because it's so embarrassing to me. A fatal accident inquiry got underway in September and is expected to last a number of weeks. Let's hope that Jackie Bailey and Willie Rennie remember to repeat these questions once it's finished, and that way she can answer it fully and accept the responsibility is down to lack of police numbers, especially if that's what the resulting inquiry finds. And then that is entirely down to Angela Constance. She did say, at the risk of repeating myself, these matters are for the Chief Constable to be scrutinised by the Scottish Police Authority. No, they're not. The Chief Constable answers to the SNP. The SNP government, sorry. I don't know. I'm probably right the first time, you know. Anyway, so no, it does come under your banner, if you like. So you've got to answer this. She goes, in terms of resources, the government within the last financial year have increased investment in policing by £80 million, or a 6.3% increase. 6.3% increase. Yay. Inflation, 10%. So, massive cut in police funding in real terms. Yay. And then she lies and says, we've invested more. No, you haven't. You've invested less in real terms. And that is the problem. And you're a lying, two-faced, incompetent words. I can't say the words I want to say, you know. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I shall stop there and come up. But she's barefaced lies, won't answer the questions, daren't answer the questions, and is quite incapable of doing her job. But of course, nobody would be surprised at that. She's probably the least incompetent of the current cabinet, But that isn't saying much, considering how bad some of them are. Anyway, I'm going to round off and come up. So there we are. She's asked a whole series of questions and she lies about every single one. I don't know why she bothers turning up. There's certainly no need for her, because apparently it's everything that she's supposedly responsible for is the responsibility of someone else. So we don't really need a Justice Minister. And when she answers the questions, she lies. She lies about numbers. She lies about funding. She lies about everything. What we need is one of those, like that scene in James Bond where they're all sitting, along the table in their chairs, and Blofeld just sort of, when somebody sort of does something wrong, Blofeld pushes a button and it's bzzz, like the electric chair. Then they slide down. Everyone just sits there looking, like that. As yet another one of their ex-colleagues slides down the tube to the crocodiles and their doom or whatever. And that's what you do. And every time they fail to answer a question fully or honestly, bzzz, and three of them, you get three electrocutions. Fourth one, you go down the trap hole to the crocodiles. That would concentrate the mind wonderfully, wouldn't it? Oh, well, never going to happen, unfortunately. So we're going to have to stick with the lies. And this is the thing. Tell the truth. We don't care. We all know. We all see it. We all know how bad it is. We all know it's the SNP's fault. Stop lying. Stop trying to spin it that it's not your fault and just admit it. You're not going to lose any more votes, because the morons who vote for you will still vote for you. And you're not going to convince the people who don't vote for you to start. So you might as well be honest and tell the truth and say, yeah, we are a bunch of useless incompetents with no idea what we're doing. And we are wasting millions of pounds on ideas that will never happen. And meanwhile, everything else is going to rack and ruin. But hey, look, I can lie. Sod off, Angela. Anyway, I shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. It really does help the channel. And we are growing nicely, thank you. But we've got a target I'd like to reach. And it'd be nice to do so. So all you regulars out there who do watch but haven't yet subscribed, now's the time. Do please hit the like button. And until next time, stay safe. Stay well and never believe the horseshit that comes out of Angela Constance's mouth. Bye.